Good evening, everyone. Today is September 9th, 2025. Welcome to the San Marino Unified School District Board of Education meeting. Here's our board president, C. Joseph Cheng.
Good evening. This September 9, 2025. I'm call to the order for tonight, the open section for regular school board meeting at 7:07 p.m. First of all, there's nothing to report for closed section. Call to the order, Mr. Song.
Present.
Mrs. Lam.
Here.
Mrs. Ryan.
Here.
Mrs. Gear.
Here.
Mr. Chen here. Student board member, Mr. Book.
Here.
Thank you. 6A, Pledge of Allegiance. I would like to turn it over to Dr. Lina Richter to introduce our student who is leading us in the Pledge of Allegiance tonight.
Thank you, President Chang. Tonight we are excited to honor Peyton Kim, the ASB president from Huntington Middle School, to lead the board in the salute to the flag and share a little bit about Huntington Middle School. Peyton, welcome and thank you for being here.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. Could you please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? Put your right hand over your heart. Ready, begin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. You may be seated. Good evening, Board President Chang, members of the board, members of the executive team, distinguished guests, HMS faculty, and members of the San Marino community. Thank you so much for the opportunity to be here. I'm honored. I am Peyton Kim, an 8th grader at Huntington Middle School. At HMS, I participate in many of the activities provided and have found all of them to be extremely fun and rewarding. For example, ASB. I have been blessed with the chance to be the ASB president, and I have enjoyed all the moments that have gone by, such as being able to help incoming 6th graders on their orientation day, leading the school in the Pledge of Allegiance every day, and helping HMS to become the best school it can be. I also participate in the Science Olympiad team and find that to be extremely fulfilling and rewarding, as I have learned so much more about science and feel that it is a great opportunity for students looking to have a career. I've also learned to play sports at HMS I would have never played before. Our intramural programs have allowed me to participate in volleyball and develop exponentially. HMS has shown me how to become a better teammate and athlete in ways I didn't know before. There are also many exciting opportunities that HMS has to offer. Not only do I find their intramural program wonderful, but being able to play different sports during PE allows students, like me, to play sports that they may have never considered. HMS also offers a plentiful amount of electives for students of all grades to enjoy. I find the electives amazing because they allow students to try new things and expand their toolbox. I had never thought about singing before, but I spent 2 years in choir and I enjoyed every part of it. On a related note, many of my peers do clubs and hangouts during lunch, which allows students to do what they enjoy and make friends with people with similar interests. I also want to acknowledge Webb and the Webb leaders, because Webb is a wonderful chance to be leaders of the school along with ASB. At Huntington Middle School, there are also phenomenal teachers and curriculum. We provide a great mathematics curriculum that allows students to advance through the program. This has allowed me to go through the math program at a pace that better suits me, and has led me to enjoy math even more. I've also enjoyed being in the Honors English program, which has allowed me to dramatically improve my reading and writing. Although the programs help a lot, teachers at HMS provide much help throughout the learning process. All the teachers I work with have allowed me to become the best student I can be. They have worked with me to see how I'm doing in class and have answered my questions promptly. Not only that, but they also make me feel cared for by letting me know how to get better for the next assignment. All of my teachers have also prepared me not only for the next grade, but my entire academic career. At Huntington Middle School, there are also many different activities that we can look forward to. Next week, our 8th graders will be traveling to Pali. In 3 weeks, our 7th graders will be traveling to El Capitan, and in just a month, our 6th graders will be going out to Cuyamaca for the last of our outdoor education trips. I also invite all of you to come to the Huntington Breakfast hosted on October 25th. Thank you all again so much for this opportunity. I'd like to wish you all a good night.
Peyton, thank you. Thank you very much. What a wonderful job you did. We are so excited to see you as Huntington Middle School's ASB president. What a great role model you are, not only for your class, but for the entire HMS community. And it's so exciting to hear that you have taken advantage of all the opportunities offered at Huntington Middle School in arts, athletics, academics, and activities. On behalf of the Board of Education, they would like to present you with a certificate for your participation in tonight's board meeting. If you would come up here and take a picture with the board, they would greatly appreciate it. Great job. Congratulations. Thank you. But we have our family. Yes. And with yes. This is yeah, yeah, and the principal person. And then I. Is this your one? And see, almost everyone will need it. That's a good point. Okay, good. Remember family, the family should go. Intro. Hot seat. You don't want to use them?
Probably could use them, but yeah. Yeah, I was driving home.
Oh my gosh, he just gets taller every day.
Use it like 8 ball.
You want to got upstairs.
My mom was like, she lived next to yeah. Like,
Oh, funny.
She wanted to make sure you got them. Completely.
That sounds like Shelley.
That's that service. Oh my God. Thank you.
Okay, 6B, approve of agenda. Do I have a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved. Second.
Roll call, Mr. Song,
Aye.
Mrs. Lam,
Aye.
Mrs. Ryan,
Aye.
Mrs. Gear,
Aye.
Mr. Chen, aye, and the student board member, Mr. Book.
Aye.
Motion carried. 6C, approve of a minutes. Do I have a motion to approve August 26, 2025 regular board meeting minutes?
So moved.
And
Second.
Roll
Second.
call, Mr. Song,
Aye.
Mrs. Lam,
Aye.
Mrs. Ryan,
Aye.
Mrs. Gear.
I except, I'm sorry, I think you need to
Oh, I'm
abstain.
gonna abstain. I'm gonna abstain.
Okay. Okay, Mr. Gear?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, aye.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mr. Chen, aye, and the student board member Book.
Aye.
Motion carry. Thank you. Before we go to the public comment tonight, I also like to appreciate, the city council, Mr. Hunter Chen attend.
Thank you, Hunter.
Yeah,
Thank you.
and also welcome all of the guests to attend.
Thank you.
7, public comment. The Board of Education has adopted Board Policy 9323B to ensure the public's right to be heard in any matter pertaining to the San Marino Unified School District. Person who wish to provide a public comment will have 3 options to submit a public comment. First, submit through an online form. Did we have any submission via the online form?
We had no submissions.
No.
Thank you. Second, request to speak during the meeting via the Zoom. Mr. Hong, please post the meeting for 1 minute to collect the public comment.
1 minute starts now. Communications from the audience regarding matters not on the agenda or items in the consent, information, and action sections, please provide your comments now. If you would like to request to speak during the meeting, please press the raise hand icon to make a request. If you're calling in from home, please dial *9 to make a request, or please submit a public comment card. There's about 30 seconds left. All right, there are no persons online wishing to speak.
Okay, thank you. Third, request to speak during the meeting in person via the public comment card. Do we have any submission via the public comment card?
No.
Thank you. Okay, let's conclude for the public comment tonight. 8, consent section. Do I have a motion to approve the consent section AA through the AE?
So moved?
Do I have a second?
Second.
Roll call, Mr. Song,
Aye.
Mrs. Salam,
Aye.
Mrs. Ryan,
Aye.
Mrs. Gear,
Aye.
Mr. Chen, aye, and the student board member, Mr. Book.
Aye.
Motion carry. Nine, communication section. A, communication from the Board of Education. We ask each board member take no more than 3 minutes to share their communication. Mr. Song first.
Thank you. Thank you, President Chang. So I got a chance to take a master in governance class in the Pasadena, not Pasadena, the Torrance Unified School. And one thing I learned from that class is by talking to other districts, we have such a, they have a lot of problems that they're not unified with the board, they're not really getting along. They, they don't have a superintendent, or they have like socio-economic is so separated out, and they have like a performance issue in the academics and everything. So they're sharing all kind of story, and they asked me what's my problem, and I told them I don't have any problem. So I just realized that as you know, I'm kind of new to in this school board, but I start to realize more and more. Then I start to appreciate like our board members so good. They always, unified and always help me to get on board. And our leadership is amazing. I know Dorlinda's not here today, but she's always here, and the executive is strong. I was telling them about our AI, that how advanced we are, and they kind of like drooling and envy on us. And even the city, the relationship, right? I talk to the San Francisco Unified, and they have like city and school boards fighting each other all the time, and we don't have any kind of problem. So I really appreciate it, and I want to say thank you to everybody in the school board and executive and even community and Hunter and city councils and everybody here. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Next, Mrs. Lam.
Thank you. I wanted to acknowledge all four schools' efforts in the recent back to school nights. I know that it takes top to bottom everyone's energy and efforts in order to make it for all four schools a successful night. I had the honor of going to the Carver one as a parent and as a board member, and that was filled with really great high spirits. I heard so much great things about the rest of the school sites, and I'm very appreciative of administrators, teachers, staff for making it all possible, because these back to school nights really set the tone for parents, giving them expectations for the rest of the academic school year. And the kids are also although they don't get to attend necessarily, they're also they get excited knowing that their parents are going to their classroom and visiting the school and meeting their teachers. So thank you so much for that.
Thank you. Mrs. Ryan.
So I want to thank the 4 schools for a great opening. No, Ben, I was not able to attend, not because of the loss, but because, yeah, I know. I was I was out of town. So anyways, just a great job, cabinet, Linda as well, and then all the school sites for having a nice opening of school. So thank you very much for all your hard work.
Next, Mrs. Gear.
I too attended back to school night. I went to all 4 school sites, and I think I talked about the elementary 2 weeks ago, but as far as middle school and high school where I have kids, it's kind of your only opportunity to get inside the classroom all year, as the kids progress through the grades. And I love just sitting in those desks and seeing what my kids are seeing every day. And I was so impressed with all the teachers, and it's just amazing how you guys keep it running. Just it's like clockwork. All those parents have no idea where they're going. So thank you. And I look forward to some of the upcoming events that we're having for the fall and football game on Thursday this week. So thank you.
Thank you. First of all, I like to appreciate, the high school principal and also 2 assistant principal. So the high school back to school night, I was there. To me, this the new semester in the beginning, to observe for the high school, all of the activity and the curriculum. And to me, it's been 2 decades. When the day I will look at all the senior and see what from now to the November, December, you guys is preparing for your college admission. And also I look at the freshmen, so I see them just from the middle school. So that to me is amazing, we are able to to serve for the K-12 education institute, make our kid to be mature, to be the adult, and for the next education. So thank you. And also I went to the City of Hope, attend for the cancer the conference. So this time they introduced about robotic surgery. So they talk about the history, and also how in the medicine they develop for the robotic equipment, and right now even they can do the tele surgery. But I think I'm not comfortable, when I have a surgery, stay in the Duarte and control for the OR at the Chicago. So the audience said if the IT they cannot support, and suddenly the message is the job, how you guys continue to perform for the surgery. Well, I think that's it. Next, communication from the student board member.
Thank you. Over the past few weeks, students across the district have engaged in a wide range of activities that support both academic development and school spirit. At Carver Elementary, students participated in Fall Picture Day, a tradition that helps mark the beginning of the school year and give families a lasting memory of their child's growth. At Valentine, September began with a focus on safety and assessment. On September 5th, 3rd grade students took part in the bike safety rodeo, learning essential skills, including the rules for riding safely in our community. In addition, students grade 1 through 5 completed the iReady diagnostic assessment at Valentine, which provides valuable data to help guide individualized instruction throughout the school year. Similarly, Huntington Middle School began the NWEA testing today. At San Marino High School, the year started off with a great momentum. The chamber choir held a retreat to help build their musical skills and group cohesion. Back to school nights was successfully held for both San Marino High School and middle school, offering families a chance to connect to their educators and learn more about the academic year ahead. Next, seniors gathered for the Senior Sunrise on September 5th, marking the beginning of the senior year. The cheer team hosted a car wash fundraiser, and another performance group drama began their auditions for the fall play. Lastly, in athletics, varsity football celebrated a well-earned victory over South Torrance this past weekend and are now preparing for an important matchup against Maranatha on Thursday.
Thank you for your report. Because the Dr. Linda Territory has some emergency for her family, so she cannot make it tonight. So this moment, I like to invite Dr. Richter to talk
Dr. Chua.
about the one of student.
Absolutely. Thank you, President Chang. On behalf of Superintendent Dr. Delatorre, I am pleased to share an exciting announcement about one of our very own high school students. Our high school student is not able to be here with us tonight, but we wanted to make a point to recognize and celebrate him. Max Zoe, a San Marino High School senior, has earned gold medal in the 2025 International Chemistry Olympiad. Presenting Team USA, Max won a gold medal and placed 20th in the world in the 57th International Chemistry Olympiad, which was held in Dubai in the United Arab Emirates this past summer, July 2025. And just to share a little bit about this event that was held in Dubai, the International Chemistry Olympiad brings together young scientists from around the globe to solve challenges, explore innovation, and celebrate the spirit of discovery. This past year, 354 students from 90 different countries competed. 2 comprehensive exams, a 5-hour lab practical, and a 5-hour written theoretical examination were used to rank students to receive medals. Just hearing that makes me nervous. Before the world competition, Max took part in an intensive 2-week study camp at the University of Maryland, College Park, where he competed with 19 other student finalists to be selected to represent the United States. He earned a spot at the study camp due to an excellent performance on the U.S. National Chemistry Olympiad, where he won first place in the Southern California section of the American Chemical Society. A truly outstanding accomplishment. We would like to congratulate Max Zoe on this tremendous achievement. So congratulations to Max. Great job.
I'm just glad my daughter passed chemistry.
Yes. And with that, I would like to turn it over to our Assistant Superintendent of Human Resources, Dr. Rose, to share a little bit more
All right,
information.
thank you, Dr. Ricker. President Chang and Board of Education, on behalf of Dr. Delatorre, I'm excited to introduce our new PIO, who is being very timid and sitting in the corner, Miss Rochelle Lebrec, excuse me. So Rochelle is over there in the corner, but Rochelle is a Pasadena resident and currently serves as a senior communication specialist at the University of Southern California. In that role, she collaborates with creative and project management teams to align communications with strategic planning initiatives, supporting faculty and staff across the university. She brings with her a strong background in public education communications. Prior to joining USC, Rochelle served as a communications editor and media specialist for the Harlandale Independent School District in San Antonio, Texas, where she oversaw communication plans for more than 20 campuses serving 15,000 plus students. She worked to strengthen connections with families in the community, expanded the district's online presence, promoted academic and extracurricular programs, and enhanced the overall reputation of the district. And I believe when you were there, they had a bond also, correct, that you worked on. In 2019, Rochelle served as communications coordinator for Oak Park Elementary School District, creating and managing content for 8 elementary schools, 2 middle schools, and the district office. She played an important role in community engagement, crisis communication during the COVID-19 pandemic, and authored a weekly newsletter focused on equity. Her earlier experience includes serving as multimedia specialist and interim director of communications for Community High School District, where she produced multimedia content, managed social media and website communications, led crisis communication efforts, and provided mentorship to her communications staff. So Rochelle's breadth of experience across K-12 and higher education, coupled with her skills in communication strategy, community engagement, and crisis management, makes her exceptionally well suited to serve as our public information officer. And so I am proud to announce her. It's not as impressive as the student before, but it is very impressive. And so
We have some labs.
join me in welcoming Mrs. Rochelle Lebrecht to our district, and she will begin September 22nd. So welcome.
Yeah, thank you for Jason. Once again, on behalf of the Board of Education, Michelle, I'd like to welcome you join the San Marino Unified School District.
Thank you.
Okay, next 10 information item, 10A, Major M update. I would like to turn it over to Dr. Choi to update the board on the progress and the current standing of Major M.
Thank you, President Chang, members of the board, student board member Rowan, and executive team. Since our last update 2 weeks ago, we've made substantial progress on Measure M projects and reached some key milestones. Earlier today, we kicked off design meetings at San Marino High School and Carver Elementary, marking a significant step forward. At this time, I'd like to invite Mr. CJ Nolan to share some details on our progress and what's ahead.
Good evening, President Chang, members of the board, district leadership, and community. More than happy to share a quick update on our progress on Measure M. As of now, on our phase 1 projects, we have contracted with architectural services for two of our major projects, including Carver Elementary Schools, TK and kindergarten new classroom buildings, and the San Marino High School CTE Medical Arts Building modernization projects. And tonight we have on the board's agenda for approval the Valentine Elementary School new 2-story classroom building as well. As a reminder, these projects were selected because they were high value, escalation prone projects, meaning that if the schedule were to be delayed, those costs could rise due to inflation. In addition, these projects add permanent classroom space that we will be able to leverage in future phases for modernization projects in phase 2. And most importantly, they meet the district's current programmatic needs and were identified as Tier 1 priorities during the Facilities Advisory Committee. As Dr. Choi previously mentioned, we did hold 2 of our design kickoff meetings for the Carver and San Marino High School projects. In those meetings, we were able to identify key user groups that we will be coordinating with for feedback over the next several weeks. And we were able to identify site priorities and roles for each member of the design team. So with our architectural team, our site administration, and our district team, how that feedback will work and how it gets implemented into the design process. And with that, we are underway into our schematic design phase, which is the very first phase of the architectural design. During that phase, that's where we will really solidify our floor plans and our overall site plans for each of these projects, especially over at Carver Elementary School, where we are trying to reorganize that campus in such a way to unify the TK and kindergarten programs. And we're also trying to address parent drop-off and pickup concerns as well. Furthermore, we've solicited other professional services that will be required during design. These include our site survey, underground utility detection, and our geotechnical services. As we finish schematic design, we'll be presenting the board with our finalized site plans and our building floor plans for each of those respective projects in a future update. And with that, we are moving forward on these high value projects and really laying the groundwork for our future phases as we continue with Measure M. And thank you, and I'm available for any questions.
Any question and a comment? None? Dr. Cho, you have anything to make up?
Not at this time. We'll bring CJ back up for the action item.
Okay, thank you. Next, 10B, 2025-2026 San Marino High School board goal presentation. I would like to turn it over to Principal Dr. Wolf.
Thank you, President Chang, members of the board, cabinet. I'm happy to present San Marino High School's 25-26 goals and how we intend on meeting the board goals. And I'd also like to say that, you know, I know you guys go through your process every year to create the goals, and we actually really appreciated being able to piggyback off of you, and especially some of the slight changes that you've made actually made it easier for us, I think, this year to align our goals to yours. So I'll start with our safety and wellness goals. We are working with the business office to hopefully add some additional cameras in some of the areas where we have some blind spots. We've already added cameras in the last couple of years, which has helped a lot. And then as you just heard from the previous presentation, we met with our construction partners this morning. And one of the areas that we have been concerned about that's going to be addressed this summer is the remaining security and safety fencing of the areas of the campus that are not secure. Right now, that doesn't affect student safety because we don't use the back side of the 400 building. But as we are growing and anticipating growing again next year, those are our last remaining empty classrooms. And so in order to use those, we do need to have a plan to fence off the side of the campus and where the buses enter so that our students can come in and out of the 400 building without exiting the campus the way they would have to now if we were using those rooms during the day. We are continuing to use homeroom as an ability to speak to our students about various issues of safety and behavior. Ms. Penelora and I did that last year. The three of us will be doing that this year just for our freshmen because they haven't heard our talking yet. But it was very instrumental last year in changing some of the behavior that we had at sporting events from the previous year. We feel that our students really did have a much better understanding of what our expectations of them are when they're out in the community, especially when they're at away games and they're representing the San Marino name. We spoke at our last principals meeting that we're going to bring back our restorative practices trainer to train our new teachers. So my new staff will be joining the Huntington new staff to be trained in restorative practices. And then one of our areas that we are interested in having more conversations with our students about is around the California Healthy Kids Survey, so that we can get a better understanding of their feelings about campus safety and belonging on campus. Okay, fiscal health and sustainability. We have been having conversations with our TAB group, the various boosters, our district business office about the future of our athletic transportation funding. As you all know, we lost the money that we were receiving from the city, and we are looking at some increases next year due to the new structure of our league. And so we are talking about things for next year about, you know, whether we want to do what some other districts in our area do as far as charging a specific amount or asking for a specific amount by sport, or whether we would even that out as an equal ask for everybody. So those are ongoing conversations so that we can hopefully find a sustainable way to pay for our transportation needs. Part of that is looking at making the new athletic schedule as budget friendly as possible. You've heard me tell you before that that is one of the major drawbacks to the new conference model, is that it is more expensive. We are having our first joint meeting with the Pacific League folks in 10 days, I believe. And so that the schedule will be one of the main topics of conversation. We are continuing to use our various funds outside of our normal instructional budget to leverage as much money as we can. This is the last year of the Arts and Entertainment and Instructional Materials Block Grant. And that is, in fact, actually how we are covering a decent sized portion of that athletic transportation need for this year. So that helped free up other accounts to keep paying for the things that we want to keep being able to purchase for the remaining part of our curriculum and instructional program. And then we had our first budget meeting with Dr. Choi and his staff. That is a new thing that Dr. Choi has instituted, that we're meeting monthly. And it's been very helpful to help us understand which accounts we can draw from that will free up more money to be purchased out of other things like our one-time money in our grants. Community awareness and understanding. So you can see that our first budget item there, our first action item there involves Rochelle. Thank you very much, because we will be working with you to do as much PR as possible. Myself and both of our assistant principals do a lot of social media posting, but I know we can get a wider audience with your help, so we're looking forward to that. San Marino High School is very good about doing appreciation items for our staff. So in addition to the things that I do, like our barbecue that many of you attended, we do have a really good social club that puts on activities to recognize our teachers. And then, of course, our PTA does an amazing job with that as well. We are looking at revamping our school website to make it more friendly. I don't think it's been modified in quite a while, and it's a little cumbersome, so hopefully we'll be working with, again, Rochelle on that and Mihail to make our website a little bit more 21st century. And then, as you've heard Dr. Delatorre talk about numerous times, we want to have more opportunities for student voice. Dr. Delatorre runs the group of students in her committee once a month. And I am hoping to piggyback off of that with some of the items that they identified last year that students would like to have more conversations about. So I'm hoping that we will put together some student voice panels. My previous district did that a few times a year. They were open to the public. It was really amazing to hear high school students be able to directly talk about the issues that are important to them. All right, and you can see the largest item here, of course, falls in line with what most of us would say is the most important function of our school, and that's the academic success of our students and the post-secondary success of our students. So we have a lot of items on here. This is our accreditation year. We just had a WASC faculty meeting this afternoon, and I have to say I was actually very proud of our teachers because it can be the tendency of a school to just highlight your strengths and not really look at your areas for growth. And that's a dangerous thing to do when you're going through accreditation, because when the WASC committee comes in, these are people from other schools, and they have absolutely no problem pointing out areas of growth. And so it's really good for the schools to be honest about that and get out in front of that so that you can have a good action plan for addressing that. And that's how you get a full 6-year accreditation. And our teachers really did a good job of that today, not only identifying a lot of amazing strengths of the school, but also areas that we would like to do better in. Of course, we were super happy. This is a testament to this process, because 2 years ago, when I started, one of my goals was for us to go from the gold AP award to the platinum AP award. And last year we achieved that. So we want to do everything that we can to maintain our platinum status. And you heard at the last board meeting, Ms. Penelora give her AP presentation of all the things that we do to support our students in the College Board's AP curriculum. And it's really a testament to her and our counselors and our teachers to the fact that we have gotten to the point where in some of our curricular areas, we only have one section of non-AP class, which makes it very difficult for our master schedule. But it's really amazing that we can say that, you know, in world history, for example, that we have 9 advanced placement sections and 1 regular section, because our kids really do want to challenge themselves in the hardest curriculum. We are really excited that one of our new teachers this year is going to teach our new anatomy and physiology course as part of medical arts. And he will also, he received training over the summer in the anatomage tables. And so he will be using the tables. We don't have to rely on a new PCC professor who may not know the tables very well, because we'll have our own staff member who will be able to do that every year. We are also adding a Saturday seminar and a new internship program through two local physicians, one in San Marino, one just next door in Arcadia. So we're really excited to start that hopefully in the next couple of weeks. We have some logistics issues to get through. We need to, our students need to get a TB test before that they can do that. But hopefully we'll get going in October for our internships. We are starting a new homeroom intervention. So we are about to do the NWEA next week. And for any students who possibly score in the bottom bands in the orange or red bands and need some help in some specific skill areas, we are going to have some special English and math interventions during the homeroom time, where they can devote their time to using not only IXL, which is our program attached to NWEA, but also to get tutoring from the teachers who volunteered to run those courses. So we're excited to have an intervention. And that, again, is one of the things that WASC always looks for, is what interventions are the schools doing for students, even if it is a very tiny percentage of students like we have in San Marino that aren't scoring in those top bands. We still want to make sure that we're doing everything we can to help those students do better each year. And they will have an opportunity to test out of that intervention at their next NWEA test, which then gives the students a really good incentive to do their best on the test. Because we know that a lot of times high school students look at some of these exams and don't exactly take them seriously because they may not be on their transcript, but we want to make sure that they are actually giving us real results so that we can help the ones who need the help, and that we don't try giving an extra assignment to students who don't need the help. We are working with PTSA to create a Futures Career Speaker Series for juniors and seniors. This came out of some asks from parents and from some members of the board the last couple of years about us doing something similar to Huntington's Career Day. In our conversations with PTSA, we were a little afraid of doing the exact same thing that Huntington does because the kids just had it in 8th grade and we didn't want to give a repeat. So I spent some time actually talking to Mr. Chang about this last week, and I think we have some exciting people that we can bring in to focus on some very specific 21st century careers, and we're going to do that for our juniors and our seniors, and hopefully get that started this year. The San Marino Foundation, the school's foundation, has asked us to piggyback with them in helping to advertise some of their local internships and jobs. So we're going to work with Catherine Oliveras this year on how we can help support them for that. We are going to be investigating what our next area of courses might be as we grow in enrollment. So this year we added academic teachers. Next year, we're probably going to add a few more in the areas that we didn't. But as our enrollment has gone up so much now, we're going to have to look at adding another elective teacher as well. So it will be a great process of talking with our community, surveying our students and parents to see what of the other CTE areas that our students might be the most highly interested in as we look to add another elective area and pathway to the school beginning either next year or the year after. And then we are, besides the NWEA, we haven't done, it's been a couple of years since we've done the CASP interim assessment, and we are going to ask our 11th graders and our teachers, 11th grade teachers, to do that this year so that we have another area of data to use as we prepare our students for this year's CASP and CAST exams. And then finally, I think I've talked about this before, but we have just now started our new community service option. So beginning with this year's 9th graders, they will either be able to do the traditional option with a slight increase in hours, or they can have a decrease in hours and do an option that puts all of their hours into one project that has to be pre-approved by me in advance. And that we have started doing that in our attempt to give students some of the activities that college recruiters have been telling us they're looking for in their essays that have been missing from many San Marino high school students' essays. And I know I've talked about that a lot of times, but I can tell you that in talking to parents, including even just a couple weeks ago, that have gone out and hired their own personal college counselors, sometimes they get some really bad advice from some of these people, and they tell their kids to write their essays basically talking about their resumes and how good their grades are. And that's on their transcript and that's on their college application. In the essays, the colleges are looking for dynamic things that make that college say, why should we want to take you in our university? What are you going to add to us? And those are the things they're looking for in the essays. And so I'm hoping that we can give our students more outside experiences that they can talk about and give some of these colleges a reason to say, we're going to take that San Marino High School student over the La Cañada student. Because they had this really unique experience and they were able to really talk about it really well in their essays. And I believe that concludes my report. Yes, since it's not forwarding.
Any question or comment?
I have a question. Thank you so much. There's a lot of work ahead for this next year. Could you go over the new hires and which sections you added, or if they're replacement, and how many there were?
Absolutely. So we hired 2 new science teachers. So one was a direct replacement of Miss Chubbuck. So we have a teacher teaching chemistry in replacement of her sections, although she was teaching the AP sections and those have gone to Miss Park. So we have an experienced teacher teaching the AP sections of AP chemistry. And then because of growth enrollment, we added another science teacher, and that teacher is teaching chemistry, biology, and the one class of anatomy and physiology. Okay. So that was it for science. And then we have a brand new music director because our previous band director moved on to a different district. So we have a new band director. We have a new, we have one new math teacher, and that was purely from growth. We didn't lose any math teachers. So we have a new math teacher teaching algebra sections. And who else am I missing? SPED and ELD. Thank you. Okay. So special education was a replacement for a retirement that is teaching our mild and moderate students. And then ELD is really exciting because that we were able to hire Dr. Caban, who is also the district's new TOSA for ELD. So she's teaching, and this is because she really wanted to do this. We had some other options, but we were really lucky. She really believes that in order to be an effective TOSA, that you also still have to have a connection to the classroom. And so she's teaching 2 periods for us, the 2 morning classes, and then she goes over to work for Dr. Richter. And so she's developed instantly a credibility with the rest of our English department, and so that she can start working with them on making some changes to the curriculum that will benefit our ELD students.
Any more question?
You know the first page that you say restorative practice?
Yes.
Thing? Can you kind of tell me what those are? Like,
absolutely. So San Marino Unified has had a trainer, Miss Karen Yunker. She has come over the last several years, and I actually knew her from Glendale, where she had done restorative practices training as well. So when teachers get restorative practice training, there's a couple of different avenues for restorative practices. And I should also say that Dr. Hill, that was her actual job for LAUSD last year. So I think she's going to be a valuable resource for the district as well. But one of the things that restorative practices training does is it helps our teachers learn to create classroom community. One of the most common things that you'll hear for restorative practices is doing circles. It's a great way, even if you just spend 5 minutes each classroom period, and we're lucky our classroom periods are long, so our teachers have plenty of time, to allow students to sit in a circle when they're physically able to, and just be able to talk on a variety of subjects and make connections with their peers and with the teacher. And most of the research will tell you that in schools and classrooms where there are strong connections based on doing these restorative practices, that you have fewer issues of discipline, that you have higher academic success because students feel connected to their school, to their teacher, to their classroom, and they want to do better. And so all the rest of San Marino teachers had already gone through the training, but this will be for our new teachers and Huntington's new teachers. And I should add the second part of that is what's called restorative justice. And so if you do have a student who misbehaves, then what restorative justice says is that it's one thing to just punish a student or suspend them, which we obviously try not to do anyway. But what do you do when they come back? And so it's called restorative because you're supposed to restore the balance in the classroom. So when that student returns, they need to be made to feel like they're back and part of the community again. They've served their whatever their punishment is, but now how do we get them back in the community so that those kinds of problems don't happen again? So that's part of the training also.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do we have a time frame for the fencing?
For the what?
The fence. For
So we don't, but from what I heard this morning, I'm thinking that this is going to happen over the summer. This summer, because we are planning most likely on using the outside buildings, or the outside classrooms of that building. However, depending on the timeline of the modernization of the building itself, then we may be looking at displacing the teachers that are in that building anyway. So.
Dr. Choi, you have an idea how much the budget about it?
Well, that particular need is incorporated as part of the design process when we're working with the high school. We're looking at the modernization of the building, but along within that project, we're also looking at fencing and security. You want to add, CJ, some context to that?
Mm-hmm.
That building. With it happening this summer, we're likely to just be getting DSA approval by this summer. So I doubtful that will happen this summer, but it will be part of the overall project. There are some other fencing areas like in between the auditorium that we're going to be tackling much sooner.
Yeah, I was probably overly optimistic because I didn't take into account that we're going to actually start the work on the building itself. So.
Okay, any more question?
Yeah. So I believe that we don't have AP physics yet, right?
We don't. So for a variety of reasons, long before I came to this district, there was a decision to teach physics at the honors level instead of the AP level. And many of you know that our honors physics teacher is Scott Barton, who's a fantastic teacher, and he's our science department chair. And he feels very strongly about that. But I can also tell you that Mr. Barton has been openly talking about that he doesn't have a whole lot of time left before he retires. And we have made the decision that when it comes time to replace the teacher for that position, that we are going to offer AP physics.
Okay.
More question? If not, thank you for Dr. Wolf.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, next 11 action item A, certification of a signature. I would like to turn it over to Dr. Choi to present the certification of a signature.
Thank you, President Chang, members of the board. Item 11A is requesting authorization for Assistant Principals Emily Hill and Samantha Parison to sign school site contracts up to $5,000 and approve ASB warrants. It is recommended that the Board of Education approve the certification of signatures as presented.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, Mr. Song.
Aye.
Mrs. Lam.
Aye.
Mrs. Ryan.
Aye.
Mrs. Gia.
Aye.
Mr. Chen, aye. And Stephen, board member Book.
Aye.
Motion carry. Eleven B, approval of architectural service agreement between the San Marino Unified School District and the West Group Design for the Valentine Elementary School new two-story classroom building project. Dr. Choi.
Thank you again, President Chang, members of the board, student board member Rowan Burke, and executive team. As part of Measure M, the district has identified the Valentine Elementary School new two-story classroom building project as a phase 1 priority to address enrollment growth and classroom needs. Tonight, the staff recommends approval of an architectural services agreement with West Group Designs to begin the design process. Again, Mr. CJ Nolan will share the background and the rationale for this recommendation.
Good evening, President Chang, members of the board. West Group Design's proposal for this project is not only the lowest cost to the district, but it also provides exceptional value in terms of synergy between our two elementary schools. Having the same architect really involved with designing those standards for those classroom spaces will really unify both of the campuses in terms of their facilities. And for that reason, I also want to include that their proposal was approximately $60,000 less than the two next proposals, where they offered a 5% discount beyond the Office of Public School Construction's sliding scale. Without the 5% discount, I believe the total was $1,285,000. So about 60,000.
Any question?
Move to approve.
How much additional space is the second floor adding?
I believe the building's around 34,000 square feet. So just roughly cutting it in half, I would say 17,000. And we're in a really high level of design, so that will change as we move through that process.
Is that they have a elevator, right?
Yes.
Elevator. Oh.
More question? Okay, if none, is there a motion to approve the architectural service agreement between the San Marino Unified School District and the West Group Design for the Valentine Elementary School new two-story classroom building project?
Move to approve.
Any second?
Second?
Roll call, Mr. Song.
Aye.
Mrs. Lam.
Aye.
Mrs. Ryan.
Aye.
Mrs. Gill.
Aye.
Mr. Chen. Aye. And the student board member, Mr. Book. Motion carry. 11C, unaudited actual financial report fiscal year 2024 to 2025. Dr. Choi.
Thank you, President Chang, members of the board, student board member Burke, and executive team. Item 11C is an action item for the 24-25 unaudited actuals financial report. This report is a significant financial milestone for every district because it gives us the first clear picture of how the year closed out. Let me start by first explaining what the report represents. Each year, when we close the books on June 30th, school districts must prepare what's called an unaudited actuals. It's essentially our year-end financial report. We send it to the County Office of Education and run it through the state's financial system for accuracy and compliance. During this process, our accounting team goes through every detail, making transfers where needed, reviewing accounts, ensuring expenses are charged to the right programs and funding sources. I do want to pause and recognize the person who plays a critical role in this work, our Director of Accounting, Ms. Susanna Barber. She prepared this report and brought her expertise in navigating the many programs, compliance requirements, and technical details that go into it. Mrs. Barber's diligence ensures that we maximize every cent available to this district, and I want to thank you for her leadership and hard work. So looking at the actuals themselves, I'm pleased to share that the district continues to demonstrate strong and healthy fiscal practices. We have been careful and deliberate in our budget planning and consistently prioritized using restricted funds before tapping into unrestricted resources. And by doing so, we not only stay in compliance with the program rules, but also protect our general fund as much as possible. You'll notice in the report that the district did engage in deficit spending. It's important to clarify that this deficit spending was in restricted funds. Deficit spending can sound negative, but it is both necessary and positive in this case. Specific programs provide funding that carries over from one year to the next, but those funds have expiration dates. So if we don't spend them, we risk losing them. A good example of this was the Learning Recovery Emergency Block Grant, as well as the Arts, Music, and Instructional Materials Discretionary Block Grant. Both programs required us to spend down prior year revenues, and we did so successfully. That means that we put every available dollar to work for our students and use exactly what those funds were intended for. The news is very positive when we look at the district's ending fund balance. We meet the state's required 3% reserve for economic uncertainties and reserves. And the committed balances have specific purposes. Specifically, those commitments include about $900,000 for board goes, $2 million set aside for positions and salary adjustments, $1.5 million for textbooks, $1 million for program innovations, and $3.5 million for fiscal stabilization. These healthy reserves consist of committed fund balances guided by the board's direction, ensuring that the resources are responsibly planned and allocated to areas of highest priority. That said, every financial report is also a learning tool. It tells us where we are strong and where we can improve. One area we continue to watch closely is carryovers. When funds are carried year over year, resources may not reach students as quickly as they should. I meet monthly with Ms. Barber and each of our school's leadership team to improve this. These meetings are opportunities to review their budgets in detail and identify ways to put these dollars to use during the year, rather than holding them over. It is a proactive step already helping us to use resources more strategically. Other areas of improvement are supplies, equipment, and deferred maintenance. This past year, actual spending in these categories came in below what we had budgeted. That tells us that we have opportunities to fine-tune our planning so that dollars align more closely with actual needs and are put to work as intended. In summary, this year's unaudited actuals tell a very positive story. Our district is on solid financial ground. We are carefully managing our resources, and we are spending down restricted funds as intended while we're maintaining reserves that reflect stability and the board's priorities. At the same time, we are actively identifying ways to improve how dollars flow, ensuring that funds reach our students in classrooms promptly and effectively. Looking ahead, I will return in December to present our first interim report, which provides a snapshot of our budget activity from July 1st through October 31st. That report will give us a first real look of how the current year is shaping up compared to what we had originally planned. And of course, our external auditors will review the unaudited actuals and return later in the year to present the audited financial statements. So at this time, it is recommended that the Board of Education approve the 2024-25 unaudited actuals as presented.
Any question, comment?
I do see that on the transfers, there's 0 from the county office, 0 from any other districts, JPA. So I know last meeting we approved a resolution to give authority for you to do these transfers. And so I was just wondering, since it is 0, if you could give us a little history on when that actually even happened last.
Yeah, I think you're referring to trans.
Yeah, trans. Yeah.
Right. So a trans is short for tax and revenue anticipation note. And it is really, trans are a financial tool. It's an instrument to help and allow districts to engage in short-term borrowing. So in the event that a public entity such as the school district doesn't have the necessary cash flow, but anticipates revenues, whether it's coming in from taxes or other revenues, it's short-term borrowing. Mm-hmm. And in our case, we're very fortunate, especially in the last 4 or 5 years, we actually never had to participate in a TRAN. However, in past years, we have utilized that tool for short-term borrowing. So if that's any reflection of our financial stability and our financial state, we monitor our cash flow very closely. There are certain months of the year that we monitor more closely than other months because we anticipate that funding coming from the state, whether it's property tax or other revenues, that we have sufficient cash flow. We have to make sure that we have sufficient cash to make payroll and to pay the bills. So in response to your question, yes, we are prepared to utilize a financial tool like trans if we need it, but it has been, I think the last time we used it was in 2020. So we have not used the trend since.
Great. Good.
Any more question? Okay, if none, is there a motion to approve the 2024 to 25 unaudited actual financial report?
Move to approve.
Any second?
Second,
A roll call, Mr. Song,
aye.
Mrs. Lam, Mrs. Ryan,
Aye.
Mrs. Gia,
Aye.
Mr. Chen, aye, and the student board member, Mr. Book.
Aye.
Motion carry. Next is board superintendent discussion item. Since Dr. Territory not here, but I would like to confirm from each board member. Jennifer, you want to talk about when is proposed the joint meeting with the city council?
October 7th.
Is that everyone?
October 7th?
Yeah.
You have time?
Approximately 5 o'clock. It has, time exactly hasn't been confirmed.
That's the Tuesday, right?
Correct.
Tuesday.
Yeah, so actually that's the
Yeah.
regular day, but except probably earlier, start on 5, right?
You can.
Where was the location proposed to
I
be?
believe at the city center.
Oh, great.
They're working on logistics right now.
Okay, so everyone can attend, huh?
Is dinner provided?
Yeah.
Is dinner served? Just kidding.
Okay, and then how about the CSBA? Do you have the date?
CSBA is in Sacramento this year, December 2nd through the 5th.
Okay, so look at your schedule, yeah, and let Jennifer know. Okay, with that, look like tonight everyone can go home earlier. Okay,
Thank you.
so can I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion adjourned.
Second.
Okay.